Hello Stitchy friends, this is Julia. Welcome to the Stitcher Girl Stitches. New name, same Julia, same crazy stitcher, but I decided to change the name of my floss tube. I took out the podcast part, so now it's Stitcher Girl Stitches because I do stitch all the things. So welcome one and all. It is Friday, August the 4th. As you can see, I do have a ring light now, so that makes things very interesting with glasses. It's Friday, August the 4th, so it's a long weekend here in Canada. So happy long weekend stitching to everybody. Um, I live in the Moncton area of New Brunswick, and this is going to be a very interesting weekend. It's where two worlds are colliding. We have Axl Rose and Carrie Underwood, both in Moncton at the same time, performing at the same concert. And we're hoping for good weather because it's outdoors, but that is quite the interesting matchup. But let's get on with the stitching. There is so much to tell you. I have been away for more than a year. I got so frustrated with filming Flosstube, and it wasn't like I didn't enjoy it, but it was the technological side of things that were always getting in my way. So last Christmas, a ring light was at the drugstore of all places, so I bought one. I thought that was maybe a sign. Then when I talked to a couple of people about it, they're like, you should bring it back. You should do it. You should do it. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's a sign. And then I went to this most fabulous retreat in Alberta at the end of June. And that kind of reinvigorated my stitchy bug, my floss tube bug maybe. And though it's taken me, yes, we're going to wiggle a bit because this is Julia, so things are going to go a little wackadoodle. But I know it's been maybe 6 weeks since the retreat, but I finally got myself organized. I've made lots of room on my phone because I just kept running out of memory, and that was another issue. So we're going to talk about the retreat. We're going to talk about stash, this recent stash that I've bought maybe since June. I'm going to talk about some of the projects I've been working on. This is not going to be a full recap from my last floss tube because nobody has time for that. But yeah, so I've pulled some of the projects that I've been working on most recently, and I'm looking forward to spending time with you and sharing my progress, my stitching journey with you. Sometimes I might talk about other needle crafts, like there's a quilt behind me, and that is something I've made. I've also done some rug hooking, as well as other types of embroidery like stump work and surface stitchery. And even I've tried my hand at drop spindling. So that's when you make wool from a wool bat, and that didn't go too well, but I like the concept of it. Knitting, crocheting, yeah, I've kind of tried it all. I think punch needle is probably next on my list. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy, and I hope you have some refreshments at hand. And I might have the odd swear word every now and again, but that's life. That's me. My day job is I'm a hospice licensed practical nurse here in the Moncton area. I've been doing that for almost 2 years. Very rewarding career. I feel like I finally found my place in the nursing world. I love it. Everybody says to me, my gosh, that must be so sad. Yes, there are sad moments, but we really look at it as celebrating life and making people as comfortable as we can in their final days. And it's a real pleasure and honor for me to be there to work alongside families and patients at this very special time. So yeah, so Julia, what has been going on? So now we are the Stitcher Girl Stitches, and I thought we would start off with a little stitching, a little whip in progress. 2023 was supposed to be the year of the whip in progress, but it has become the year of stitching everything but the whips in progress, because that's how I roll. I'm not a very good rule follower, and that's okay. There's no police here, right? Do what you want, do what you love, stitch what you want, stitch what you love. It's all good. It's all good. So I have been participating in the Lucy Barber stitch along. I haven't been very good though at participating in this, but this is something that's been put on by Traditional Stitches. They have all the kits, all the information for this beautiful Hands Across the Sea chart. This was a special exclusive through them. And I said, you know what? Let's go for it. I love the bright colors. Um, really, the bright colors really spoke to me. And there is a Facebook group a lot of you probably already know about. Rose Heck is the moderator, team leader, I guess is a good term for her. She's the one that's helping us along. She's there for us if we have questions. And she had the chart all mapped out in sections, so we would complete a chunk every month for maybe 10 to 12 months. I can't remember. But I kind of fell off the wagon here and fell a bit behind. This chart, you have to really pay attention because when you're doing the border, it's very uneven at times. It might be 10 stitches and all of a sudden it's 7 stitches, then it's 12 stitches. So I think I got a little mixed up at one point, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be a big deal. It's all good, and it's just going to look beautiful anyways. The model was stitched on linen by Tabby Cat Linens called Wood Smoke, I believe. And Wood Smoke by Tabby Cat Linens. And it looks very gold in this photo. In real life, though, it doesn't look that gold, but I decided to go with doubloon, which is a picture this plus fabric. That was a little difficult to say. And it's very golden rich, and I thought it would look great with all these bright colors. So let me just get my piece. So I ended up buying a half a yard of this fabric, and so it's a massive piece. It's 40 count that I'm stitching it on, but this is where I am so far. I'm happy with it. I haven't looked at it in a couple of months, but it's looking good. It's all DMC floss, and yeah, the colors just, I love the orange. That is a cat. If you hear a cat, that's Cherub getting a little frisky. And I think the only changes I made was the DMC colors for both the purple and the yellow. I think I made them a little, I maybe did the DMC number next to them or something, just so they were a little, not necessarily brighter, but darker. Yeah, so that's looking good. That bird is looking great. And I was doing really well there working on the verse, and it's just like, when is this verse going to end? But thankfully it's not a 1/1. So yeah, so that's something I'm definitely going to get back to shortly. Yes, so that was great. So I'm really happy about that. Something I used to do in the old Flosstube was I always used to do what I call a flash from the past. And because I used to do a wide variety of stitching, I always like to showcase a piece in one of my, oh, sorry, I got to stop doing that. I'm going to make everybody nauseous. I like to showcase a piece that I've done, different style of embroidery. When I lived in Montreal, I was a member of the Lakeshore Creative Stitchery Guild, and that's also is a member, sorry, this has been a while since I've done this. the guild is a member guild of the Embroidery Association of Canada. And so there's a lot of instruction is a really main kind of like mission of the association. And I went to one of their seminars, I believe it was 2005, and I did stump work with Deanne Bertelson, and I thought I would show this to you today. This is one of my prized pieces, hangs on the wall proudly. I can't believe I did it. And the frame I was so happy with. I really like the idea of an oval frame, oval mat. Yeah, so that's some stump work. Fabulous. Just love it. Stump work is when you have pieces that are made on a separate piece of cloth, and then they are added to the main embroidery. So the butterfly was all made on a separate piece of fabric, and then it was added to the main body. And then beads were used for the berries, and it was just DMC floss. Very effective with the stitching technique and so forth, kind of create some shading. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Love the spider. It was fun. Okay. So one of the things I really wanted to talk about today was the Stitch and Stash retreat, and just kind of like my review. Oh dear, this is going to be bad. I hope you're all having a chuckle at home, because I do these things on purpose so you do laugh. I think I'm going to hold something so I don't play with the table. So, right. So what I was about to say was that I wanted to talk about my experience at the Stitch and Stash retreat, which was in Edmonton, Alberta, near the end of June. It started on a Thursday and it ended on a Sunday. And the two ladies that put it on, Jean and Kelly. Yes, I'm sorry, I have to look at your names. Jean and Kelly, thank you so much. It was truly a fabulous experience. I went by myself. I didn't know anybody there except for Jeanette Douglas, because everybody knows Jeanette Douglas because she's a superstar. So I didn't know anybody, so it was a great experience for me just showing up, and I got adopted by a table. Our table name was the Peonies because flowers was the theme, and the table was predominantly Alberta Stitchers, and there was one lady from BC and another lady from Yukon. So that was and myself from New Brunswick, so that was quite the nice mixture. There were also a lot of ladies there from Pacific Northwest of the U.S., as well as maybe more Midwest U.S., and yeah, a lot of BC Stitchers, Ontario as well, and I think there was somebody there from Newfoundland. So it was quite a mixture of people from different locations, and it was wonderful. There was, I think I heard 125 stitchers, and we were in a conference room at the Fantasyland Hotel, which is connected to the West Edmonton Mall, and that was a fabulous location for a retreat, because it was kind of like a destination vacation at the same time. If you could go down and walk the mall if you had the energy, and see all the things that the mall is famous for, like the skating rink and pirate ship, and there's lots of entertainment activities and so forth going on in that mall. It's a place where I would maybe avoid on a Saturday, because I think everybody in Edmonton was there. But the food court was great. There was a nice selection, and I didn't stay at the Fantasyland Hotel. I stayed at another one. I think it was called the Royal West, not far away, and so it was easy to get to, and I didn't really have time to explore. I thought maybe at some point I might go check out a local museum, but when I realized the location of West Edmonton to the actually downtown core of Edmonton, it just didn't make sense for me to try and trip around while I was there. So I just huddled in for the 4 days and tried to revive my stitchy bug because it had been not so great before I went away. I succeeded on stitching well while I was away, but maybe not so much since I've come back. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Though it has been too hot many times to stitch. But I thought I'm going to show you now some of the things we got. We got some really lovely things. I just can't believe to think that somebody, because some of the things that we received were handmade, and that meant somebody made something 125 times. So that right there, gold star, gold star. So let's see what I've got. I've got my bag here. Well, let's start off with Jeanette Douglas, who is just everything. She created a little kit for us, and I've started it, and it's just lovely, and it's so Jeanette with the flowers. And Valdani kitted the threads because Valdani was there as well as a merchant, and they also gave us something. They gave us I would call it a quilter size spool of thread, and it was 35 count weight. And so that was really generous of them to do that. Everybody got one of those big cones of thread. And so they put together a thread pack to go with Jeanette's beautiful design. And I have started it here. I think it called for flax. This is 36 count flax. And yeah, so far so good. Just one thread over two is how I roll. And I did change one thread color, and I think because I always change something. I mean, that is me. There was a very light, like a turquoisey blue, greeny blue color used for the flower, and I decided to use a tropical ocean. This is a Gentle Arts thread, and I thought it just made the flower just a little brighter. I found the thread was very light, so this just gives it a little more brightness. I liked for it to stand out. So yes, I was really really grateful for that special treat and keepsake of the retreat. So of course I'm looking forward to getting back to that, like all my other 200 projects. So we thank Jeanette and Valdani Threads for putting that together for us. That was lovely. I've got a bag right here on the floor. I'm just going to throw everything in. So when we arrived, we got this lovely bag full of goodies. And see, this is one of the handmade things, a little needle book, 125 of those. Just gorgeous. This is something else somebody made. I know at first glance it looks like a fried egg, but it's supposed to be a flower. And 125 of those. Something else in here, a scissors keeper. Lovely. And there's a couple of pockets here for different sizes. Those are always fun to have around. Little cute things like this. I think there's some tea and chocolate inside. I've never opened it because I just don't want to take it apart. Oh yeah, this was very popular. This is an orc catcher. It's a homemade one, and somebody made 125 of those, and it just twists and snaps closed like that. Just perfect for going to a retreat. What else do I have in here? And then people like would come around to the tables and like bring us goodies, and I'm like, I didn't know about that. I didn't get that memo. So I'll know for next time. But yeah, people were so generous. So this is a beautiful counting pin. It's a dragonfly. And it's got some purple, which I love because purple is my color. And it says Jen on the back. Is that Jen? who sells the needle minders, perhaps. Then this is Cheryl, who had the beautiful bags. This is, again, like a little fob that you would put on your bag. Cheryl, you made 125 of these. You rock. Isn't that sweet? So that would just go like on the scissor pull of your bags. Then another lady who has a floss tube. Her name is Cheryl. I've watched her floss tube. She came around and gave us trim. So that's going to come in handy. And she has a cute little card, that her business card for her floss tube. So that was really great. I know I'm not remembering everybody's names, but I love you all. The Grateful Thread. I know this is Charlene. Charlene put together a little bag for us with some threads. And there were some charms in there. What was really cool, a lot of people had these little charms with the dates on them, the year. Charlene, of course, had a table full of hand-dyed fabric. She's our new best friend. And now this wasn't part of this bag. I'm just gonna this wasn't, the next thing I'm gonna show you wasn't part of the bag, but Carrie, I believe it's Carrie, and if it's not Carrie, well, we're all gonna have a good laugh. Carrie of Roxy Floss. I don't think it's Kelly, I think it's Carrie. Floxy Ross Co. I asked her if she had any of her thread with her, because you know she works with Caroline from Evertotes, and both those two ladies were there, so it was nice to see them in the flesh. And I asked Carrie if she had any of her floss with her so I could see it, and she gave me 2 skeins of her floss. The color is Swagger. It's a warm red. It's a really great Canadian red, actually, if you were going to stitch something Canadiana. Just lovely. And so yeah, she gave me 2 skeins of her floss. So thank you so much, Carrie. It was so great to meet you. And Caroline as well was there. And I got to see some of Carrie's fabric that Caroline was stitching on. And you know, they do a floss tube together, about all their great collaborations. So that was great. So I'm looking forward to working with that thread at some point. But you know, everything's in a queue, right? Oh yes, Traditional Stitches was there. And there was this great little pouch, like a pencil case pouch that was in there. And I've kind of thrown a lot of odds and ends in here because it's just crazy. These are these little charms that I was telling you about with the year on them. This 2024. Here's another little, like a scissor fob. Somebody made again. Had a date on it. This here, Cute as a Needle button. Yes, Jen was there with her needle minders and scissors, which she's known for. These are all in plastic, but I'm not going to take it. Some more counting pins. I have like a crazy amount of counting pins now. Do you think I use them? When will I learn more beautiful counting pins? Can you see that there? Pretty flower. And another little one. Anything iridescent with a bit of sparkle, I go crazy. There was another floss tuber there. Lisa, Lost in Stitches. She gave us some stickers and candies. I haven't had a chance yet to watch her floss tube, but you know it's going to happen because I'm going to get there at some point. I work night shift, so sometimes on night shift I catch up on my floss tube. And then I think these came from Jean. These are floss tags. I love a good floss tag. And purple. Hello. Perfecto. Some wax. Lovely little waxer. More of those charms with the dates. And then at our table, I'll try and put a picture in at some point. um, there were these little flowers, and they all had that florist wire, and they were all sitting in a vase, and they were all different colors of thread. We got to pick one. I believe they're anchor. But yeah, so that was a really neat idea, picking up on the theme of flowers. So that was like so exciting. I got all that stuff, and I still shopped. So I'm gonna do the needle minders next. So Jen, cute as a needle button, I believe. Cute as a button, cute as a button. She's on Facebook. Now, one of these has got the F-bomb in it and the B word in it, so avert your eyes if it bothers you. But these were really cute. I have some people in mind for these needle minders. And then this was from Karen. Is it Rocky Mountain Needle Minders? I need to get my sheet of paper because I don't want to get names wrong. These people were all so nice and so generous. Okay, so the vendors. We had Jeanette Douglas, Creations by Cheryl. She had beautiful project bags. The Grateful Thread is Charlene, and she had hand-dyed fabric and some other goodies. Traditional Stitches, Cute as a Button Needle Minders. So this would be Jen. She also had a lot of scissors. And Rocky Mountain Needle Minders, Karen. Yay, I got it right. So these ones are great. Like, come on. Princess Leia, classic. I'm not American, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg, come on, icon. And then these cats. Can you see the cats? It blew out. Sorry. Princess Leia. Love it. Love it. Love it. So yeah, so those were all the vendors. So we were quite spoiled. We had great vendors, great location. The quality of people was just top drawer, which is fabulous. Loved it. Yeah, so that was great. There were also 2 classes that took place on this Saturday. Jeanette Douglas did one, and that was a usual thing that you would see Jeanette do, a band sampler with different specialty stitches. And then Karen Phelan, Karen, is that your name? Karen was sitting at my table. I'm such a terrible person. Karen Phelan, I believe it was Karen Phelan, and she did canvas work, and it was a lovely piece as well. If you join the Facebook group for Stitch and Stash, you will see some of these projects now completed. They were lovely. So 8 minutes, woohoo. I'm going to try and carefully have a drink without upsetting anything. So cheers. Oh my, water. Okay, so I did buy some goodies from Jeanette Douglas because, come on, Jeanette Douglas. I have always loved this sampler. I should tell you the story of how I met Jeanette Douglas. We have to go back in time. I believe the year was 2006. That was when I lived in Montreal, and I was a member of the guild, the Lakeshore Crave Stitcher Guild, and I thought, why are we not having our own little retreat? Let's have a retreat. So my idea was to have a counted thread course and a surface embroidery course, and they did happen. And I was quite taken with Jeanette Douglas and her designs, these band samplers, and how she did, she really tied into the local history, the local landmarks and everything. So she designed a special Montreal band sampler. And so there were things like, there was a wonderful charm to represent the cross on Mount Royal. There was the St. Joseph Oratory at the top. And then as you work down, there were things that, you know, the St. Lawrence Seaway and the ships. There were fleur-de-lis. There was the Montreal symbol, stained glass windows of all the churches we have here. You know, some of the symbols and things we stitched had to do with all the festivals. Montreal is so known for the jazz festival. So it's a really lovely sampler. And you're like, Julia, where is yours? Well, Julia has moved 20,000 times since 2006, and it's in a very special, safe place. I will see if I can find a picture of it and put it in here somewhere. But it is just, it was a wonderful time, and it's always really great to connect with her. So, Oh Canada, True North Strong. This is a lovely sampler, and this would be a great Canada Day start. Maybe next year. I don't know. But I own it, and I'm going to do it at some point. And then this was a cute little one. A little Halloween she had. And you know her new series, the Chubbies. There was a chubby bird and there was a chubby bunny. I got the chubby bunny. And I gave that to my mom because she stitched chubby bunny. A chubby bird. Now she's got to stitch chubby bunny. And that was easy to say. So yeah, so that was great, and I need to get the thread pack for that sampler, and yeah, I mean, if you've stitched this, let me know. But you know, Jeanette always uses wonderful different threads, silks and over dyed cottons and stuff, so it's really fun because each band is a little different. I do have a piece of that of Charlene's fabric, the Grateful Thread. This is a 32 count linen, and to me it said Halloween. Oh, can you see the ring light is really working for me today, people. Wow, I think that's very true. The ring light definitely was a smart idea. Oh, this fabric is gorgeous. So Charlene, that was awesome. You can find Charlene on Facebook as well. And she will ship right across the country. What else? Oh, yes. Well, of course, I had to buy a few little things from Traditional Stitches. Janice was there with her friend. And I had ordered a couple of pieces of fabric from her. Fabric that I wouldn't normally be able to get locally from Tabby Cat Linens. But this is Minnie McBean's Needlework Fripperies, and I'm hoping you're going to see this well. It's a big safety pin with all little charms hanging off of it. There. So there's like a spool of thread, there's a needle, there's some scissors, and there's something purpley hanging from it. That's why I got it. Oh, yeah, a little purple charm. So you can find these at Traditional Stitches. Yes, it's a heart. And I don't know if you can tell that little round thing. It's supposed to be something stitched in purple there in a little hoop. Okay, so we have to look at the Tabby fabric, the Tabby Cat fabric linen. Okay, people, put on your seatbelts. This is so exciting. Okay, so Tabby Cat linens comes from Europe. And not every needlework shop is going to have it. It's hand-dyed linens, and they're made by the lady who used to go by Mill on the Floss Samplers. I believe her first name is Michelle. I feel like she has some connection to the Channel Islands, but I'm not sure if she's living in England or France these days. But anyways, it's like, sorry, I'm very excited. So I got some of her fabric, and let's start off with the one called Lichen. So as you might have guessed, this is going to be a green colored linen, and it has some gold in it. Let's see how this is going to work. This one may not, the modeling is not as strong. Let's change this side. Let's see. Sometimes it's better when you fold it over a couple of times. Yeah. So lichen, it's a green fabric. It's not a true warm or a true cool color green, but it's very nice. It's a nice neutral. I'm calling it a neutral because it's not super strong. I think I have a few things in my stash that might work well with. I had to get the one called Lally Brock because of Outlander. And this one is gorgeous. This one has lots of modeling. So you're just gonna, okay, get ready. Don't sit too close now. You're gonna get excited. Oh, isn't that fun? Oh my, I'm telling you, I had to have a moment when I picked up my fabric because just, and then Janice has this thing where one day there'll be a bunch of stuff on the table and the next day there'll be different stuff. So that means there was some more Tabby Cat linen on a different day. This one is called Creme Brulee. If you watch Flosstube a lot, you might have heard of this one. Now this one is really, oh, hello Wellington. How are you? Hi baby. What's happening? So this is, look at this. This is a creme brulee. And isn't it wild? It's like somebody dragged it through the mud. But in a really good way. Like it's a good thing. It's not. But oh yeah. Look at that. And now you're going to say, well, what are you going to stitch on that? Well, I don't know, but I have it. I have it in case I need it. Because you know what? After the pandemic, people have been buying things like crazy. And I think we're still kind of in that mode. We're still buying things even though we don't need them. And yes, I can hear my mother saying something to me right now. Let's have a sip of tea. Hospice. Oh my gosh. So, did I have stitching to show you? The haul is so much fun though. Yes. So a couple of things I worked on when I was away at the retreat. This is Handsome Mandala by Ink Circles. There you go. Ink Circles, very popular. And I'm doing this on a Lugana, a 25 count. And this is where I'm at so far. Yeah, that fabric is showing true. That's where I am so far. And what I'm doing for this is I'm using Sulky because I'm doing it on the 25 count Lugana. And the thread colors are here. I did a conversion. Yeah, so they're pretty close. It looks nice. I think I'm only using black though around the eye. Excuse me, but it's very nice. So that was one thing. And the other design that I spent a lot of time working on while I was away, because, you know, at one point, like, you get motivated and you're like, I want to get down to this spot and I want to do this. And this is a Scary Sampler by Heartstring Samplery, Beth Twist. This is a fun sampler because if you're into science fiction, whether it be TV, books, Gothic, you know, anything from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a little Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, Beetlejuice, Star Trek, Star Wars, Men in Black. Doctor Who, The X-Files. There's something taken from all these different shows, TV shows, movies, books, and put in this sampler. And I like my Star Trek. I like my Star Wars. I like my Doctor Who. There's a Doctor Who sampler. I saw somebody at the retreat. They were working on a Doctor Who. I think it's a stitch along. Very exciting. Now, of course, I've gone and changed all the colors because the colors were too warm and I tend to prefer cool colors. So I've made my flowers pinky as opposed to peachy. And I did get to the very bottom where the needle is. That is the bottom of the sampler. And now you want to know what fabric this is. And it's 40 count and there's 1/1 on this thing. These freaking little pterodactyl thingy-jiggies birds. Oh my God. Yeah, I tell you. You want to drink when you're stitching that stuff, but you can't. Okay, so I believe, yes, the fabric is Color and Cotton, because I do belong to their fabric club. I don't get it every month, but every now and again. I believe it's called Limestone, and Limestone 40 count. And I've changed all the colors. If you want to know what thread colors I'm using, I've done over dyes, classic Colorworks, Weeks. I don't remember if there's any Gentle Arts in there, but yeah. So those were the two projects I worked on while I was in Edmonton. And I was just having fun with that. See, the threads are all, that's how I roll, fast and dirty. I want to stitch now. Let's get the plastic bags and fill everything up. So that was that. Now we had giveaways. We had a smalls exchange, and the funniest thing, so we had a smalls exchange, and then we kind of had a bag of items. I can't remember what that part was called. Do you remember what that part was called? I don't remember what that part. But anyways, we were given a list and different things. Oh my Lord, trip over your tongue. Flowers. Flowers was the theme. So everything in this bag had to have something to do with flowers, whether it was thread, scissors, needle minders, fabric. It had to, and you had to have so many things that were new in the bag. But first I'm going to show you the smalls exchange, and it was so funny. The lady from the Yukon that was sitting next to me won both the things. She got my smalls and she also got my bag. It was crazy. I just had to do this, but no, we had to do all this, like, all this stuff. But anyways, it was great. It was good fun. It was good fun. And hi, Debbie. I owe you an email. So this is what I got. This beautiful. And again, it's purple. It's like everybody knew they were making this for me. Lilacs. There's some silk ribbon in there as well with beading. I'll hide the tag. And the fabric to match. And she was a local girl, Jennifer. I believe she lives in Red Deer. Or maybe it was St. Albert. Maybe it was St. Albert. And a beautiful tin of those Annis candies with a lilac container. So that was really sweet. I enjoyed that. Thank you so much. And then the bag of goodies that I got was absolutely insane. The girl was just at the next table, and it was like she knew she was getting things for me. It was wild. It's like everything I pulled out, I'm like, She knows me. She knows me. She knows me. She got me some affirmation cards, which are always great fun. Some beautiful markers, bright colored markers. Look at this now. Like, I swear she knew me. These are trims. There were 2 packages of this. This is hand dyed by Rolanda threads. Purple. There's another one in here. Look at these colors. A lovely notebook. I will never forget her because she is from Zama City, which is someplace in like northwestern Alberta, where I think the bison population is probably larger than the human population. And those clips, some fabric, and there was soap, which I'll leave in the bag. But the other thing, which was super cute, was this scrubber. Bison scrubber. Isn't that hilarious? That'd be like one fun thing too in there. Bison scrubber. And look, another needle minder. Because you had to put something in the bag that had to do with frogs. And so she got me a frog needle minder. Isn't that just... So I have more needle minders that I know what to do with now. Because I'm somebody who always used to kind of like pin my needle in my fabric. And I know that's like... But it happens. Anyway, so I was like... Her name is Krista. And thank you so much. Wow. So spoiled. So blessed. So thankful. It was just, wow. So amazing. So what else has been happening? What's everybody working on this summer? I guess we're getting close to that time where people like to start stitching on their Halloween, if you're into Halloween. I always like stitching on Halloween. I don't know, some of the projects are really fun. What else? Okay, so right here now is just some more haul. And this is recent haul. This is haul that has to do with with, you know, these Christmas and July sales. You know how they always get us in July? They're like, they have a sale and then we like buy stuff in July. So the first person who did this to me was Shelly at Creative Quarters. She's out west. I believe it's still BC, though the mailing label said Alberta on it. I'm just looking at the sheet here. Yeah. Maybe she moved to Alberta. Sorry, I'm a little behind the times. Anyways, so Blackbird, I've always loved this chart. Part of the Loose Feathers series, and you're like, but Julia, look at all that full coverage. Half of that sampler is full coverage, but there's like a rooster and a fox and all kinds of cute little farm animals. Anyways, I've just always loved this one. It's always kind of spoken to me. And then this is another Blackbird one called Flowers for You. Isn't that beautiful? Love the colors. Now, a lot of their models are stitched on like 30 count fabric, but I probably would do these on 40 count. I call myself the 40 count diva sometimes. I do like my 40 count fabric. I've gotten the hang for it. And then when there are times when I think that like sometimes when you go to a retreat, you don't be working on 40 count, right? You're too busy yapping away. So so something like 25 count. Labor for Learning, Plum Street. I've always wanted this one too. And I love the samplers that have these like urns on each side with the flowers. I don't know if that's like the Rhode Island style of samplers, but love it. This is an older pattern too. And it's not that big. Yeah, 2015 this one. So that was Shelly. Shelly, let us know where you are. Which province are you in now? I did get my my new order of Color and Cotton. This is 40 count is what I get from them. They're in St. Louis, Missouri, I believe. This is the July Fabric Club, and the color is Milk and Tea, and it's a very nice warm brownish, nice. You can see the modeling in it. That's a really great color for fabrics. My local, I've got a lavender candle on right now. It smells divine. So what are some other things? Well, for those of you who followed me before, you probably remember that I am really lucky because I live in a part of the world where I have two LNSs at my disposal. One is Seashell Stitching, and the other one is the Stitch Bug. Yes, I'm spoiled. So this I picked up at, oh, this is a Kathy Barrick. I give you my hand. I think I would do it on the darker fabric. I think that's Seaweed by Fox and Rabbit. I do like the darker fabric. And if you like, I have to think, Ship's Manor. So the Stitch Bug orders a lot from Ship's Manor because he dyes really nice fabrics. And it's easy to get his stuff. Though now that I've said this, maybe not. But this is called, I think, Werewolf. And this is a great for like a Halloween small. I have some of their other fabric too, but yeah, so they order a lot from that place, and it's nice over-dyed fabric. What else? I also, at the Stitch Bug, I got two Barbara Anna charts. No Christmas tree. And this is Christmas Joy. It's a alphabet sampler. Very nice. And for this one, I did get the fabric. This is Pearl Gray. This is a Zweigart Pearl Gray. And then for this chart, she's using the variations threads. I think, yeah, all three are in this one. So that was fun. So that was my Christmas in July at the Stitch Bug. I think I was very reserved. And then the Seashell Stitching. Now the Stitch Bug actually has a store. They do have an online presence. And I think you, I should know this better, but if there's anything, just call them. The Seashell Stitching they do have a website. You buy online with them, and I just go pick it up because they're not far from me. They have been having retreats in the fall. There's going to be one in October this year in Moncton, and I'm going to that again. I went last year, and I believe there's still some space left. So a couple of things I picked up from them is Gathering Together. This is a Scarlet Letter, a rather Scarlet House. I do have this chart as well. I had to have it because I had to. And this is, the drawing thread used to be very popular in the 2000s, in the knots. Can you see this? It's in a bag. It's called Partita or Partisha. So this is something, now it's a kit. It's come with everything in the back. There's silks in this. There's soie perlée. It's legacy linen fabric. I think there's some soie 103. So there's some white work, pulled thread, regular cross stitch, black work, maybe something like an Algerian eye or something, satin stitch. So there's going to be specialty stitches, and it's 87 by 87 stitches. So that would be a nice small. And it's great. You're ready to go. The drawn thread logo is there. Back. So yeah, and then I got some threads because I always seem to buy threads. I love a good hand-dyed thread. Oh, and this is cute too. This is little cat paw. Can you see it? It's got a hole, and it's to go on your scissors. Sorry, I made you shake. I believe that's what it's for. Cute. And some threads are in here. Yeah, just classic colorworks. I got Cauldron, Blacksmith Blue, and Morning Glory. I was trying to add some blues to my collection. And oh, this ring light. I love it. Oh, look at the colors. That is like bang on. Bang on. Cauldron, the Blacksmith, and the Morning Glory. This ring light is a game changer. And I know I don't have my glasses on, but game changer. Game changer. Game changer. I can't. What else? Oh, where did that other thing go? This is really special. Okay, you're going to have to sit down again for a second because I got something else special to show you. If I can find it. I think I might pause. I'm going to pause right. Oh. I'm going to pause. I'm back. I found it. This is a special needle minder. And as you can see, it has the coronation symbol logo for King Charles III. And I got this from Lakecraft Lakeside Needlecraft, and that's in the UK. And I think Mama Loves You GB, who I watch often, who's in Wales. I think she mentioned them, and she mentioned how they had some coronation stuff. And in Canada, it's been hard to find anything related to the coronation, which is sad, and maybe kind of tells you where Canada's at times. But yeah, so I was thrilled to bits. I was scared to death it was going to get lost because I only ordered this in the mail. But it came, it found me. And I have another little treasure. So exciting. What else? I think I've shown you everything. But there was something else special that I had to show you. And it's in another room. Just a sec. Okie dokie, I'm back. So I received some more fabric from Traditional Stitches after the retreat. These were things that I was hoping I was going to be able to pick up at the retreat to save on shipping costs, but that didn't happen. These colors were on back order, but they came in, and they're fox and rabbit linen, which comes from Australia. And sorry, you're going to hear the plastic. One color is Dirt Track. This is a brand new color, and I think it was a fabric of the club, fabric of the month club. But again, this is another one you might think, ooh, they drag that through dirt, dirty mud. But it's fun. Oh, wow, look at this ring light, Look, oh my God, this is so exciting. Oyster shell. So this one's going to be like a mauvey purpley color. I don't believe the modeling is as strong in this one, but this is lovely if you're looking for a purple fabric. See, purple. Yeah, we're not getting a true color here, people. Let me see. That might be better. Yeah, it's like a dirty mauve. Naughty. And then this is eucalyptus. I've always wanted a piece of this. This is a fun color. See the modeling in that? Now, if you've ever seen the seaweed, I think the seaweed is more like a warm green, and this is more of a cool green. And I might use this for that pattern I talked about earlier. Where are you, Kathy Barrick? Kathy Barrick. That might work nicely. So yeah, so we're done. Can you imagine? We're done. This is going to be, well, by the time I edit it, it's going to be close to an hour. But I thank you so much if you stuck to the end. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I did kind of whip through some of the items, but I really wanted to get back on track and connect with everybody and get again. And this has been fun, and the ring light has been a lot of fun. It's been a hoot. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I was able to use it. And if you have any questions, please let me know what you're stitching on. Are you stitching on any of the things I am? Your favorite kind of fabric, your favorite kind of overdyes, you know, whatever comes to mind. It would be great to hear from you and to hear from where you are in the world, because I know I have some people who live in different parts of the world who watch. So I'm looking forward to doing this again in about a month's time. Hopefully the stitchy bug will really come back and stay for a long time. And maybe now that I've got this going, the motivation will be there. Well, I gotta make stuff so people can see it. Yeah, so this has been fun. This has been great. This is I have to think of what I call myself now, the Stitcher Girl Stitches Flosstube, episode 1. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.